I'm Millie Weaver. We're here at CPAC 2020. We're here with Scott Presler. Scott has gained a lot of notoriety by hosting these trash pickups in these Democrat cities where they just leave their citizens to be homeless on the streets, surrounded by garbage, rat infestations, and needles of all sorts.
Yes.
So Scott, what made you decide to do that?
It was actually President Trump that shown national attention on the city of Baltimore. And I kind of sat back for a second because everybody was pointing the finger. Nobody was actually trying to do anything about the trash. And I said, okay. I put out on Twitter, I said, I'm going to the city of Baltimore, even if it's just me standing on a street corner. And I didn't realize what I had done because that tweet kind of went viral. And then I was like, uh-oh, like I have to do a giant trash cleanup within 6 days. But we had 170 volunteers come out. We picked up 12 tons of trash in 12 hours in
That's
one
insane.
day, and people came in from Utah, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Florida. It was an act of love, the community coming together because they care.
That's just amazing. Now, how many cities have you reached so far with these trash pickups?
Yes, I've been to Austin, Baltimore, Chicago, Houston, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Portland, and in addition, I'm going to be going to Philly, Pittsburgh, Detroit, and Milwaukee during the Democrat National Convention this year.
That's amazing. Now, do you have like a massive number for how much combined trash you guys have hauled off?
In 2019, we picked up over 105 tons of trash, 105. And 50 tons of that alone was, half of it was Los Angeles, where we picked up trash at a homeless camp that you covered. And here's the untold story. This is what nobody's talking about. A reporter messaged me after the fact and said, Scott, the area that you cleaned has actually stayed clean, and 5 of the homeless people that were living there have actually agreed to housing. So we not only cleaned the streets, but we were able to get homeless people safely into a better environment.
Wow, and I bet that's partially because you brought so much attention to it and that the
Yes.
city wasn't doing anything.
Sure.
And it lit a fire under the city officials to actually maybe reach out to the homeless people and offer them housing. Because I bet a lot of them would want to have housing, you know, if they were
Absolutely.
offered. So that's just so amazing that you're doing that. Now,
Thank you.
many that don't know that Scott is also heavily involved in campaigning. You
Yes.
work to register people to vote. What do you think the chances are of Trump winning in 2020?
Well, the one thing that I want people to be wary of is people message me all the time and they're like, Scott, it's going to be a landslide. Trump's going to win. And they say Trump's going to win in a landslide. I actually don't like to think that way. I think that we need to play like we're behind, play like we're losing. Quite frankly, I think Trump is going to win the Midwest. I think he's going to win Florida and Ohio, just based on voter registration numbers and the fact that Governor Mike DeWine won in 2018 and Governor Ron DeSantis won in 2018 as well. However, my eyes are laser focused on Pennsylvania. I'm coming to as many cities as humanly possible. I'm going to speak at DeSales College, at Slippery Rock. I'm going to Butler, Emmaus, Philly, Pittsburgh. And my goal is to register new voters. I want to expand the electorate and make sure that more people are participating in our constitutional republic.
Wow, and you know, sometimes we don't think about some of the things that have been happening recently, like hundreds of thousands of voters being put back on voter rolls last
Yes.
minute. We're seeing all these discrepancies with votes and turnouts and oddness with people being registered to vote in states they haven't lived in for years. So we do have to come out in full force, right, if we're
Yes.
going to win this, because we don't know what kind of tricks the Democrats might have up their sleeve. Now, what state do you think Trump is having the hardest time on? Like, what state would be key that people could rally behind and make sure they're active in?
Michigan. I don't believe right now we're in as strong a place as we could be in Michigan, and also Wisconsin. I mean, if somebody said to me, Scott, where should we go and focus most of our efforts in? If I'm in Ohio or Iowa or North Dakota, what can I do to help? Focus on Wisconsin and Michigan. And especially with there going to be a brokered convention this year, if Bernie Sanders is not the nominee after him winning Nevada and Iowa and New Hampshire, we are going to see a very splintered and split Democratic Party, and that is going to be our opportunity to come and with love and to say, hey, if you supported Andrew Yang or Tulsi Gabbard or Marianne Williamson, you've seen that the Democrat Party is rigging this election undemocratically against your candidates. So we, especially in Michigan and Wisconsin, need to embrace these voters and welcome them into our very diverse Republican Party.
Wow. So have you planned to do trash pickups in Michigan, more, if any?
Yes, I'm coming to Kalamazoo on April 9th, and I'm coming to Detroit, Michigan on May 2nd to do a cleanup. And and when we do our cleanup in Milwaukee, I will be at the very office that was just vandalized in Milwaukee. You see, the Democrats always like to call us fascist, but we're not vandalizing their offices. We've just seen that a maniac tried to run over Jacksonville, Florida Republican volunteers. They trashed the Milwaukee office. I mean, there's so much violence against Trump.
So the Milwaukee Republican headquarters?
I will be there at that office.
Okay.
And actually in Jacksonville, Florida, because I'm still focused there too, I'm going to be at the very location that the maniac tried to run over people, and I will be there registering voters. We have to show that we're unintimidated and unafraid.
That's so great. Now, what can people do? Where can they find your information? Say they want to help volunteer in Michigan or any of these events you're hosting. Where can they find that?
Yes, my website is scottpresler.org. There's only one S in Presler, and I'm also on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Scott Presler.
Yes. If you guys aren't on Twitter, that's mainly where Scott's at. I mean, he's really big on Twitter. He's got a lot of notoriety there. He's awesome. So follow him on Twitter if you guys are on Twitter as well. And thank you so much, Scott. Thank you for your time. It's such a pleasure knowing you. You're so inspirational.
Thank you. Well, thank you for the work you guys are doing. All we want, I'm fighting for two things: truth and justice. This isn't necessarily about Republican versus Democrat. I want good people to be able to succeed, and if you mess up, I want you to suffer the consequences. I want truth and justice.
That's right. And you know, one of the things that Scott speaks about often in his videos, he says, let's put Americans first, right? That's like his message. He's going and doing these trash pickups because the real question is, why are we leaving American citizens to be homeless, laying on the streets? Many of them are veterans that have served to protect our country. When the Democrats want to prioritize helping illegal immigrants and providing sanctuary cities and providing housing and all these resources for them, why aren't we doing it for our American citizens? Why are we leaving them? That's Scott's message. So, you know, it's really so amazing what you're doing, Scott.
Thank you. Well, and you know, the last thing that I really the last thing that I want to hit on is I watch the Democratic debates, and they always talk about racial justice, right? And they always talk about Black Lives Matter. One question that I want your viewers to think about, for example, is if Black Lives Matter, why is it when a black person commits a crime, they are locked up in prison, but illegal immigrants are rewarded with sanctuary cities, are rewarded with freedom? And I think that's something that we need to really go into urban communities and talk about, that it's the Republican Party that wants freedom. Freedom not only for you to succeed, but freedom from mental slavery, where you are not judged by your sexuality or your gender or the color of your skin. I am a free thinker, and that's why I support Donald Trump.
Remember, I'm listener supported, so please go to InfoWarsStore.com to support my work. Take advantage of some of the great deals and the great products we have available so you can both help take care of your own health and help us fight the info war. You can also go to Millie Weaver on Subscribestar to support me directly if you choose to. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to give you my next video.
When it comes to rebuilding your energy, convenience is key. While coffee, candy, and other sugary products can give you a short boost, the crash can leave you more tired than ever. Turbo Force from InfoWars Life is a powerful mix-in energy packet that utilizes vitamins, amino acids, and extracts used for hundreds of years to provide you focus, clarity, and a boost of energy on the go. Simply take a packet, mix it into the indicated amount of water, and enjoy. With 14 servings per box for a 2-week or more supply, this is the formula to stock up on whenever you need a boost. Perfect for work, in the car, or at home. Turbo Force is the ultimate answer to a sluggish day. Don't let your day slow you down. Perk up with Turbo Force at InfoWarsStore.com